He just might be. NBA fans, what's good? You are now rocking with the best. Ro Parrish here in Studio V, here to engage, enlighten, and entertain with two champions. Of course, we have Brendan Haywood here with us and the champion and MVP, Candace Parker. So a lot of things happening. I know that a lot of you have tuned in. Some of you might not realize that the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics aren't playing. The league officially coming in and postponing the game due to contact tracing of a Miami Heat player. They don't have enough players available. So in this situation going on, and Candace, we'll start with you. Seeing everything that's happened, what was your initial reaction to seeing that the league postponed this game?
Well, first and foremost, the league came out early on, and that's part of the reason why they have released their schedule in two parts, is because of situations like this. They knew that this was going to be something that the NBA was going to have to deal with. This is the second game postponed. Earlier in the season, OKC and Houston was postponed. But listen, this is something the NBA is going to have to continue to watch, because at what point is it too much, where teams are too devastated by contact tracing, don't have enough players? You saw earlier Doc Rivers mentioned Dwight Howard might have to play point guard. We don't want that to happen. So I would think that the league is going to continue to watch this.
We saw that you mentioned the Philadelphia 76ers a little shorthanded yesterday. They, of course, took that L to the Denver Nuggets. It seemed like they were playing a G League team with the players that they had to roll out. But B. Wood, what's the next step right now? I mean, do we have to go back to the bubble? If you're the commissioner, if you're in Adam Silver's shoes, what steps are you taking to, counteract this problem?
Man, you're throwing the tough questions out right off the break, huh?
Hey, that's what we do. That's what you're here for.
Listen, I don't have the answers. I like to have the answers, but I don't have them for you. The bubble worked, but guys struggled mentally in that bubble. And that was just playing the last couple of games of the season in the playoffs. If you have the full season in that bubble and then the playoffs, I'm just not sure if that's a recipe for success. So I'm not sure where the league is going to go next, but I have the utmost faith that Adam Silver will do a great job, because he's been a great commissioner for this league, and he always leads us in the right direction.
Indeed he does. We saw what he was able to do. Now we'll take it to the actual games. We got basketball, great offensively. When you talk about OKC, one of the lower rated teams as far as points per game, but their defense has been the key and why they've been winning so far. OKC in control in the fourth quarter. We will keep an eye on this game. We're going to go to Lakers and Rockets. These two teams matched up in the bubbles, and the Lakers gave them that gentleman's sweep.
A little different squad there now.
Roster's a little bit different now.
Squad there now.
Early on, you already know what time it is. Lakers defensively and King James doing King James things.
That's bully ball right there. Too strong. LeBron flexing on him and everything.
Yeah, he is. LeBron backing him down like Candace Parker does.
Oh!
All of a sudden, we see some shenanigans take place. That is Boogie Cousins, and that is when Markieff Morris.
Hey, man, I think the Morris twins just wake up in the morning ready for that action. First name bout that, last name action. They always want the smoke.
They always want that smoke. And speaking of the smoke, Boogie delivering the smoke, catching LeBron. And that right there is going to be whistled by the refs. And next thing you know, Boogie is exiting the game right now. The Lakers, I'm tripping. The Lakers in control of the Houston Rockets in the second quarter. AD on the way. He is here to play 16 in the game. LeBron with 9 and 3. James Harden chipping in so far for the Rockets, leading the way with 10. So these Los Angeles Lakers, we see what's happened with this team. Brendan, you mentioned it, obviously a very different roster. Candace, you're out there in Los Angeles. You see how things have changed so far. We see this Lakers team. It seems like all the pieces seem to be fitting in place. Rob Pelinka constructed this team. Everybody talked about how they won the offseason. That's rare when you see a team win a championship and win the offseason as far as free agency and making new acquisitions. Candace, what's your assessment so far, just looking at this Lakers squad and how they've played thus far?
Well, in the words of the late, great Johnny Buss, he says that when you win a championship, that doesn't mean that you have to take time off and think that what you did last year is going to work this year. You have to take a step forward. And Rob Pelinka did just that this offseason, adding youth, adding depth, adding players that are able to close games. You think about the pick and roll that Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell have, with Harrell having the experience playing with Lou Will the previous year. Think about guys that are the unsung hero that are able to step up in guys' absence. Caldwell Pope twists his ankle. Horton Tucker steps in. He's playing extremely well in the Houston game tonight. And it's able to take the load off of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Now, listen, I want Anthony Davis and LeBron James to continue to do what they do. I don't want Anthony Davis shooting threes. I want him on the block because there's nobody in the league that can stop him. But what it is doing is it's allowing them to not have to play as many minutes, log as many minutes with that shortened offseason. I think they'll be ready to go come playoff time.
Speaking of those minutes less being played, we want to make sure you keep that in check for a player who's in year 18. LeBron so far giving you 24, 7, and 6. Amazing numbers for a player in year 18. Nothing short of amazing. What have you seen so far that you've liked watching LeBron this season?
Well, LeBron just continues to defy Father Time. And it looks like, oh, this is going to be the year he falls off. Everybody keeps predicting his fall off, and he just doesn't fall off. He just continues to add to his game. And yeah, he's not as athletic as he was maybe, in 2012. But guess what? He was so far ahead of the pack that now that he's coming back down a little bit, guys are just starting to match his athleticism a little bit. And now he's playing a smarter game. He's playing with his strength. He's getting downhill. He's posting guys up. And that's something that he learned from Pat Riley. But from 15 feet on in, there's not too many guys at the small forward shooting guard position that can do anything with him. And he plays a very smart, cerebral game. Also, now he's always been able to pass the ball. But now that he had the ball in his hands primarily as a point guard, we've seen those assist numbers go up the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, we did. He led the league and led the NBA in assists last season. Right now, 7 assists per game. We'll see if he's able to get there. Right now, the Joker's averaging a little bit more assists.
Shout out to the big men leading the league in assists. Candace, you see the big men leading the league in assists? Candace, you see it?
Or no, he's not considered a big. I wouldn't consider Jokic. He's versatile. He's a point.
Wait, hold up, Candace. Hold up. He's not considered a big.
He's a center.
He's a point post. That's what he is.
Point post.
Did she just make that up?
I think she just made that up right here on live television. Yep. She created the word. Let me write that down. Point post. I got that down.
While we at it,
heard it here first.
While we at it, we got to give Candace some love for the swag. You know how swagged out you got to be to have a velvet chair in your office? Like, not everybody has a velvet.
Nah.
What is that, velvet? That's beautiful. Not everybody has.
I was just wondering if we were gonna get past one segment. Of
Man,
hold up.
Where do you even buy that at?
I don't even know, but she has the gold-plated basketball.
Boy, I tell you what.
Hey, listen.
Boy, she smell like new money, don't she?
Hey, man, she got her own money.
Hey, when I say she got her own money, she got her own money.
This is the type of environment you're going to have all night. Candace, B-Wood, of course, Ro P. And the fun guy, because we like to have fun, Kawhi Leonard responding, went for a season high today, doing work against the team that Candace cheers for.
What is that, velvet?